Somewhere beyond this moment, beyond tomorrow, beyond the version of yourself that exists today, there is another you, not a different person, not a fantasy, not an impossible dream. A possibility, a version of you who has learned the lessons you're still avoiding, who has faced the fears you're still running from, who has built the discipline you're still negotiating with. That person is not waiting for luck. They're waiting for your decisions. Every choice you make either moves you closer to meeting them or further away. The distance between you isn't measured in miles. It's measured in habits. Imagine an old astronomer standing beneath a sky untouched by city lights. Night after night, he watches the stars, not because they change quickly, but because they change faithfully. He knows something most people forget. The universe moves with incredible patience. Galaxies are born over billions of years. Mountains rise grain by grain. Forests grow one ring at a time. Everything magnificent obeys one law. Small changes, repeated consistently, eventually become impossible to ignore. Why should your own life be any different? There is a strange illusion that affects nearly everyone. It whispers, "I'll become disciplined once life gets easier." But life never becomes easier first. You become stronger first. The mountain never lowers itself for the climber. The ocean never calms itself for the sailor. The storm never asks permission before arriving. Nature doesn't remove the challenge. It develops the one who faces it. Think about an ancient cathedral. People admire the stained glass, the towering ceilings, the beautiful architecture. Almost no one thinks about the workers who spent decades laying stones they would never see completed. Imagine dedicating your life to building something you might never witness finished. That is faith, and every meaningful dream requires it. You're laying stones today that your future self will one day stand upon. Keep building. Your mind is like a library. Every thought you repeat becomes another book on the shelf. Some books teach courage, others teach fear, some teach gratitude, others teach resentment. Every day you choose which books to read. Eventually, the books you read become the person you become. Be careful what stories you allow your mind to memorize. Walk through a valley after heavy rain. Notice the streams. None of them ask permission before changing the landscape. They simply continue flowing, day after day, season after season, until entire valleys are reshaped. Consistency has always been one of nature's greatest forces. Not speed, not intensity, consistency. You don't need one extraordinary effort. You need ordinary effort, repeated long enough that the world can no longer ignore it. Imagine carrying two seeds in your hand. One seed represents comfort. The other represents growth. You can only plant one today. Comfort grows quickly. Its roots remain shallow. Growth takes longer. Its roots reach deep into the earth. Storms reveal the difference. Shallow roots break. Deep roots remain. Choose the seed that survives storms, not the one that impresses people during sunshine. Every sunrise offers something priceless. Not another day, another opportunity to become someone different. You don't wake up as the same person every morning. Yesterday's decisions travel into today. Today's decisions travel into tomorrow. Life is constantly asking, who are you becoming? Not, who were you? The past is information. The future is construction. Build wisely. There will be seasons where nothing makes sense. You'll wonder why doors keep closing, why progress feels invisible, why life seems unusually difficult. Imagine trying to understand winter without knowing spring exists. That's how many people judge their lives. They assume the current season is permanent. It never is. Every season has a purpose. Winter strengthens roots, spring rewards patience, summer brings abundance, autumn teaches release. Accept the season you're in. Learn what it came to teach. The strongest people rarely speak the loudest. They've learned something powerful. Energy spent proving yourself is energy not spent improving yourself. The oak tree doesn't argue about its strength. The mountain doesn't defend its height. The stars don't announce their brilliance. They simply exist. Become so focused on your growth, that explanation becomes unnecessary. Imagine climbing a spiral staircase inside an ancient tower. Halfway up, you look through a window. The view is beautiful but incomplete. Continue climbing. Another window. The world looks entirely different. Life changes with perspective. The higher your character grows, the differently you see the same problems. The obstacle didn't shrink. Your understanding expanded. Every promise you keep to yourself creates something invisible. Trust. Not trust from others, trust within yourself. When you say you'll wake early, and you do, trust grows. When you promise to finish something, and you finish, trust grows stronger. Confidence isn't magic, it's accumulated self-trust. Built one promise at a time. There is an old saying among sailors: you cannot control the wind, but you can always adjust your sails. Think about how much of life is exactly like that. You cannot control other people. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control yesterday. You cannot control every obstacle, but your response, that always belongs to you. And your response shapes your future more than your circumstances ever could. Picture a sculptor working beneath candlelight. Every strike removes another piece of stone. At first, the changes seem invisible. Weeks later, still difficult to notice. Months later, a face begins to appear. Years later, a masterpiece. Transformation is slow enough to test your patience, powerful enough to reward it. The world encourages speed, faster success, faster money, faster recognition. Nature encourages depth, deep roots, deep rivers, deep wisdom. One lasts for a season. The other lasts for generations. Become more interested in depth than speed. One day, without realizing exactly when, you'll notice your life feels different. The things that once tempted you no longer hold power. The habits that once required discipline now happen naturally. The peace you searched for now follows you, not because circumstances improved, because your character matured. You became the person your problems could no longer control. Imagine meeting yourself at the end of your life. They don't ask how much you owned, or how famous you became, or how many people approved of you. They ask one simple question: did you use the life you were given? Not perfectly, fully. Did you love deeply? Did you remain curious? Did you keep learning? Did you become brave enough to live honestly? That question is worth carrying every morning. So when tomorrow arrives, don't search for a perfect day. There won't be one. Search for one meaningful decision. Wake up when you plan to. Read instead of scrolling. Walk instead of waiting. Speak kindly instead of reacting. Forgive instead of carrying bitterness. Practice instead of procrastinating. One decision, then another, then another. That is how lives change. Not through giant moments, through quiet consistency. Through invisible victories. Through ordinary mornings that eventually become extraordinary years. Because the person you dream of becoming isn't waiting somewhere far away. They are built. Thought by thought, habit by habit, choice by choice, every single day, and one day, without warning, you'll realize you finally met them. You'll recognize them in your reflection, in your peace, in your discipline, in your courage. You'll understand that they were never waiting at the end of the journey. They were quietly growing inside every decision you made along the way. So choose wisely, because the person you could become is watching every choice you make today, and they're hoping you'll keep walking toward them.